Hello, everyone, and welcome to EduMatch. Follow along with us at tinyurl.com/Tweet Talk 68A, as well as on Twitter with the hashtag EduMatch. Speaking of EduMatch, did you know that you could be the EduMatch person of the day? Just sign up on the Google form there, just put all the information about you, and we'll tweet it out over the course of 24 hours and try to get you some global connections. And just FYI, it doesn't just start at 10 p.m. every day. We have a backlog of over 150 people, so we're trying to get through it as quickly as possible. So you might see that people have different start times depending on how much information they have supplied. So definitely looking forward to getting those connections made. So tonight we are going to be talking about community strengthening. So this was an impromptu EduMatch episode. We did not have this one scheduled. We just kind of came together and talked about it in the Voxer group and decided to make this happen. Just in light of events lately, we definitely wanted to problem solve because we are a group of problem solvers. So we wanted to get together to talk strategy and maybe share our experiences and our thoughts and ideas to see how we can help our community be a safe and strong place. So definitely wanted to introduce our fantastic panelists for today. So we'll start going from my left to my right. So we'll start first with Katie.
Hey guys, I'm Katie. I currently serve as a teacher librarian at the high school level, having a great time helping make positive impact everywhere I am and helping the students and teachers to rock their classroom.
Fantastic. Welcome back, Katie. And next we have Rochelle.
Hey, Rochelle from Pittsburgh. I teach Spanish. I have taught French in the past. I also teach a STEAM course, junior senior high school outside of Pittsburgh. Happy to join in tonight for this impromptu talk.
All right, fantastic. Welcome and great to have you back, Rochelle. And now we have our first timer, Victor, if you could please introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, I'm Victor from San Leandro, generally working in San Jose. Teach English. I'm a tech coordinator, and I am in love with restorative justice, and I think that's all I'm going to want to talk about.
That is fantastic. Very excited to hear it, and definitely welcome. Glad to have you on here. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the very first question. So we're going to see. We're just going to talk for a second about how we help students process current events and help them to feel safe. So who would like to jump on that question first? Not everybody at once? No. All right, I see that Rochelle and Victor have unmuted themselves, so rock, paper, scissors. No, I'm just joking.
Victor can go. I'll let Victor go.
All right, go ahead, Victor.
All right, so one of the things we wanted to do, because we're a school that runs restorative justice and the circles and the peacemaking circles, is get everyone kind of circled up, give them a chance to write out their thoughts, process their thoughts about what's going on, and then give them a chance to actually talk about it. What's really actually crazy about it is, you know, the kids don't necessarily need to hear your input as much as they need to get a chance to vent. And I think that's what ends up happening a lot of times is that kids vent and they have shared venting experiences and they connect even further because of it. So it's, you know, expressing your views and your outrage and such allows people to come closer with you if they have those same views. So I think that really helped when we did that, and we're always probably going to do that in the future now.
Absolutely, definitely giving them that space. Absolutely. All right, Rochelle.
Yeah, I agree with what Victor said. You know, whatever's going on in the world, I think the most important thing is when students come into the schools, that's supposed to be the safe place that they can just, you know, not get away from what's going on, but just a place where they can be together with other people, in a place where they're supported. And I think that as educators, there's certain things that we can share with them, and then there's a lot of things that we can't share what our opinions are, because you can be persuasive or sway these young minds, but at the same time you have to respect that they're going to come into the classroom with a mixed bag of emotions, and they may not have anybody to share their thoughts with at home or even in school. And we have to be supportive regardless of if they're venting or whatever they're feeling. We have to have that unbiased approach and just be supportive and listen, and then take that in. And part of being an educator is kind of being able to figure out, like quickly how to react in a way that works for everybody, that everybody's information and everything they're expressing is valued. And if we need to redirect in some case, or bring it back to focus, I think it's just important to provide somewhere that the students can be themselves and be comfortable in expressing themselves, and then use whatever they give us and take the next steps.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Let's go next to Katie, and then I see that Leah has joined us. So right after Katie, we'll come right back to Leah.
Yeah, I agree totally with what's been said. Our students come to us not expecting us to be able to fix the problem, but being able to have a voice. They're not going home and journaling their thoughts and feelings every day. So they need us as a sounding board to get their anger out sometimes and just get a voice and be heard, and walk them through that. It's okay to be upset about things. It's okay to have this angst, but talking about it helps them deal with it better. And they find other people that feel a similar way, so they don't feel lost.
Absolutely. So sometimes there's strong feelings, sometimes fear, and absolutely. So definitely giving them that space to express themselves. All right. So Leah, if you could please introduce yourself. Welcome to EduMatch.
Hey guys, so sorry I'm late. I, for whatever reason, didn't get the invite into my Google Hangouts. It's been crazy. So I am Leah Kurtz. I am an instructional tech coach in Cobb County, which is just north of Atlanta in Georgia. So I'm glad to be here. Excited to talk about community.
All right, fantastic. Great to have you here, Leah. And the question that we were just answering, so hate to put you on the spot as soon.
No, you're good. I'm ready.
All right, great. But the question is, how do you help students process what they may be feeling right now, and let them know that that they're in a safe space?
I think to me the biggest thing in the classroom is always providing that safe space. But I don't know that you can just start a week and a half ago providing the safe space. I think it has to be building a sense of community all the way up from day one, that this is a safe space. We're going to respect each other in here. We're going to be a family. We're going to love each other and support each other, so that when we have something that is so divisive or traumatic and kids are struggling with it, then they know that you're a safe space. And just reiterating every day, it's all about respect in here. We're going to respect each other. We don't have to agree with each other, but we're going to respect each other and support and build each other up. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. So creating that classroom community from day one.
Right, right.
Fantastic. All right, so the next question that I'm going to pose to the group, what do you see your school or your district or your county doing to connect with families and with other community stakeholders? So what kinds of things do you see going on? So who would like to jump on that question? All right, Michelle.
I was holding out. Didn't want to be first, but yeah, like for my school district, it does a really good job of getting information out to the community. We have a couple ways that they do that. One, we have the website where they keep things updated, and people can, check that out for each of the 3 schools in my district. For other things, if something happens that's, there's a sense of urgency, we have a calling system that alerts, and it sends out to all the parents in the district. They'll send out a newsletter, and then there's, every month or a couple of weeks, there's something posted and sent home. But in the event that there is something that happens that, they need to inform parents, I mean, it goes out in multiple ways. The school has also promoted itself as being, you know, a place where families can come in. They offer different services, so it does a really good job of, you know, being available. It's a small community, and so there's a lot of close-knit ties in there and a lot of support, and that's a nice benefit of being in a small school. The students know the teachers and we know the students, but it doesn't matter how long you've been there. You still have to start building those relationships, even if you've known them for years. People change all the time, so you want to just start building and going from there and just being a source of support.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, fantastic. So Victor, what about you? Oh, I'm sorry, I mean Katie, then Victor.
Our school does a really great job with call outs whenever there's a problem, so that parents firsthand get the information instead of getting, you know, that fabulous false stuff that Facebook likes to post. So that's a positive thing. And mailings, we have monthly parent meetings. Right now they're just in the morning, so they're working on expanding that, because of course that only means stay-at-home parents can attend. We want to reach all of our parents. We're fortunate enough to be currently building a parent center, so that should open up a lot of opportunities for parents throughout the day to come on campus, get involved, and I'll be working on building some parent literacy nights as well, so that they know what their students are doing on computers with social media and how they can finagle that with their students as well, building that team all the way.
Fantastic. All right, and how about you, Victor?
Well, we do we do quite a few things. I mean, we got our Facebook, so we got parents kind of logged into Facebook, and you know, we got them following us on Facebook so they can look at events and stuff through social media. We've got Cafecito. So what happens is our principals will gather parents in the community members together, you know, take them on a tour of campus, kind of take them in the classrooms, and, you know, basically talk about what's going on over coffee. So, you know, we have a lot of different things like that where we're able to quickly get information out and keep people up on an ongoing basis of what's going on. Some of it, you know, is coffee chats, and some of it is just flyers home, or we've even occasionally, if it's something that's a big, you know, problem, you know, an emergency, our schools will simply just call home or let kids call home using their cell phones. We really just kind of use technology as it comes with us, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, and how about Leah?
In our county, a lot of what we're doing towards building community and building that communication is very social media based. There is a huge drive to move more from Facebook to Twitter. In fact, at the most recent leadership monthly meeting, there was an entire presentation about how to build a Twitter presence, why it's important to build a Twitter presence, that, you know, this is really where most students and parents are gaining a lot of information at this point. So there were some strategies given and some encouragement to reach out to the people in my department as a support system, and kind of looking at helping them to train and figure this out. And, you know, if you're never been on Twitter and, you know, or you have limited exposure and you've really just been lurking up until this point, to kind of figure out some good people to follow and how to communicate with your parents through that. We also do frequent emails throughout the district from schools, from the central office, just, you know, trying to stay in contact on a regular basis. So.
Absolutely, and definitely it's very important to keep the whole community engaged right now. Absolutely, in order to strengthen our communities, definitely to keep those lines of communication open. It looks like we might have lost Katie, but hopefully she will be back in. All right, so one more question for our panel. So what resources or strategies would you recommend what resources or strategies would you recommend in order to help create some strong school community bonds? All right, Leah.
Okay. I'll just jump back in here. What I would love to see is more of a push towards what Victor was talking about, like the coffee and talks, and let's sit down and actually talk to each other face to face. But a lot of times those are targeted more towards like the stay-at-home moms or the stay-at-home dads that, you know, may have more of an opportunity to participate in those. It would be nice to see that expand out to maybe, you know, come have a soda and let's have a chat in the evening or what have you, so that it really is a lot more inclusive and reaches a lot more of the parents and the students where they are, because I think a lot of times we're pushing them to be where we are, and that's, you know, depending on what kind of environment you're teaching in or what kind of students you're working with, they have all sorts of different situations at home. So that's what I would like to see. The end.
All right, fantastic. Thank you. And let me see. So who would like to jump in next on this question? All right, Victor, I see your hand going up.
Did you just give me another opportunity to talk about restorative justice? I will take it. I will.
All right.
Yes, I will take it. Oh my goodness, building community. Oh, I love it. I love it. So obviously the cafecitos are lovely. But also inside of the classroom, getting those circles, getting people talking, getting people learning about each other. It's not just about kids filling the forum to be able to vent. That's great. That comes with it. But it's also kids listening to others and seeing what others are going through and making sure that and understanding that they're not the only ones that have these problems and they're not the only ones that have these issues, and being able to connect with one another because of that. That is something that, you know, you get from restorative justice, and then that's when bonds get made, and that's when you can then have community building games that people actually want to play with one another because they've exposed themselves in a way that's comforting and in a way that gives them the opportunity to tell their own story. So, yes, restorative justice, get it, go buy it, or not. You know, I guess it's not buying, but, you know, implement it. Yes, definitely. That's all. Mic drop.
Loving the passion behind the restorative justice, and it really does sound like a great practice to help really build that community in your classroom and in your community with parents and things of that nature. But definitely getting to the relationship aspect of it. Absolutely. All right. So who? Let me see. We also have Katie and Rochelle. So who would like to jump in on this one? All right, Rochelle.
I didn't know who would. It's like trigger finger like first. Yeah, everything that they said, you know, there's different, depending on your school and what's available to you. I think all these are great ideas. Like, I've heard a lot of schools having, you know, coffee meetups and so forth, but you also have to make sure that you have things that are available for parents or for people in the community that can't be there at that time in the afternoon. So I think part of it in planning those type of things is to make sure there's, you know, a variety of offerings, whether it's, you know, Monday nights is like a coffee Monday night, and then on Wednesday afternoon or something, just to mix it up a little bit so that you give a chance for everybody in the community to come in. I know in my school they have different meetings, like meet with lunch with the superintendent, coffee or breakfast with the principal, and they'll do things like that throughout the year at all the different buildings and offer them at different times. So that's a nice plus too. And then just staying active with, you know, your website, or if you use social media, and just sending messages out or being available for the, you know, students, the parents, and the community itself is important. And there's so many ways that they can do that.
Absolutely. All right. And let's go, last but not least, to Katie.
Yeah, it's real important to have things throughout the day, various times. If it's lunchtime, before school, in the evening, helping get everyone access to the great stuff that you're doing at school. Games with students and with the teachers and the parents, getting them all together. Another fun thing that's not tapped as often as it should. If we want them to build relationships with us, we also need to set the opportunity to create those relationships, and maybe playing a breakout EDU with our parents would be a fun way to do that.
All right, great. Thank you so much to everyone on panel for all of your great insight, your great feedback. Definitely now is the time where, you know, our students are, some of them may really need us to help them build those safe spaces. So we need to definitely reach out to our families, to our community stakeholders. What I'm hearing all of you say is creating those opportunities for dialogue, pulling people in and having those discussions. So definitely wanted to thank you all for your great insight tonight, and wanted to thank everyone on Twitter, because Twitter was also blowing up. Apologies to everyone on Twitter that my computer was freezing. I was not able to tweet back, but great conversation I'm seeing scrolling down the screen. So awesome stuff. So also thank you to everyone who's watching, and for everyone who has been so active in the EduMatch community. So the Twitter archive will be transcribed and available in about maybe 10 minutes or so. And this episode will be available as an iTunes podcast in the coming weeks. So next week, we're going to have a double header. We're going to have at 6 p.m. Justin Schleider will be moderating a discussion about movement. And at 7 p.m. Rod Madison will be moderating a discussion about stopping human trafficking. So it's going to be great conversations next week, December the 4th. So anyone can be a panelist. We have our forum at tinyurl.com/EduMatch sign up. And also wanted to give a huge shout out to Teacher Ed Chat. So I saw Nicole Howard in the Twitter chat, Dr. Nicole Howard, who mentioned to me that Teacher Ed Chat this week will be talking about navigating EdTech spaces in light of current events. So definitely check them out. They'll be doing a slow chat for the next few weeks, dropping a few questions beginning tomorrow, Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So definitely check them out. Hashtag Teacher Ed Chat. So that is Dr. Judy Arts, Dr. Nicole Howard, and Nathan Stevens. So check those three out. Great people to follow, great people to know. So if you want to subscribe to the EduMatch podcast, check it out at bit.ly/EduMatch podcast. So everyone have a fantastic week. See you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.